Just a reminder, if you missed anything from today's show, you can download the Gaughan Racing podcast today. Not only is it free, but you can download and listen to the show before it airs here on VSiN. The new Gaughan Racing podcast is available via Apple, Google, iHeart, Spotify, Stitcher, and at vsin.com/podcasts. Jeff Motley back along with Brendan Gaughan on Gaughan Racing. Moving into the top three chances at Texas this weekend, kind of mirrors our odds to win the race, if you will, the top threes. Seeing Kevin Harvick. First time in a while, though, Brendan.
First time all season.
We've seen a driver with a negative number beside their name, a -125 on Kevin Harvick finishing top three. And then we got Kyle Busch, Denny Hamlin +175, Chase Elliott +200, Truex Keselowski +250 and +275. Blaney Logano at 300, Almirola Johnson 500, and so on and so forth. Kind of mirrors the odds to win the race.
Well, they normally do, but to me, the two things that stick out to me are, one, our first minus on the top three all season long with Kevin Harvick -125, and I don't think I'll complain next week when Kevin Harvick might be a +125 again. I might be a little more apt to bet it, but to me, I'm still fading Kyle Busch. +175 in a top three. He has not been top three in I can't tell you how many races. I am still not going to pick that number for Kyle Busch. Denny Hamlin, sure. But I'm not jumping on that Kyle Busch bandwagon. But I will go down to that Eric Jones +600, that Matt DiBenedetto +800, the Eric Almirola +500. I do like those a lot.
Well, and I think that you and I probably have kind of come into the agreement that on Kyle Busch, it's proved something to me right now. I mean, he's got to do something to make us want to go bet him right now.
I mean, you even look last night at the All-Star race. He wasn't a factor. He wasn't there at all most of the night. So, to me, the story of fading Kyle Busch is still I'm still fading him until he can. And once again, I still kill for that fade, Jeff. I mean, he's still finishing top tens. He's still, but he's just not the Kyle Busch of the last couple of years at this moment. The question is, the first person to jump on him, Jeff, will you'll get paid off when he finally does turn around, and Kyle Busch will turn around at some point.
Well, but shockingly, I mean, we're not really even seeing the odds going, that crazy. Yeah. I'm really surprised he's not up to a little higher number.
Well, and that's the funny thing is they still have him down that low because everybody probably is still betting him, and you still know that when Kyle Busch does turn it on, guess what? You can't have him at +500. That's just not going to fly. There's going to be too much money on him. So you're going to keep that number low, but I'm still fading that number. That to me is not the chalk that I'm looking for at the moment. But Kevin Harvick is 125. Average finish, Jeff, 3.8 in 10 races. That's why he's -1. He could be -250 and still is worth betting.
Yeah, that's probably true, especially going to this. One other thing I noticed from the top threes, it seemed like the numbers are a little bit lower this week. Like last week, we saw Matt DiBenedetto was 16-1 to get a top three, and he finished top three. Well, he's all the way down to +800 this week. And we see guys like Matt Kenseth, William Byron, +800. And then we got Cole Custer and Tyler Reddick are 16-1 for a top three. So it seems to me like the numbers for top three, because we've had some upsets like Custer and DiBenedetto last week, Almirola getting all these top threes, it seems like those numbers have kind of come down for everybody.
Well, I think right now DraftKings, which is where we get our top three from, they might have got hit a few times. Some big numbers have hit, and so they're probably trying to slim down that risk that they're putting out there. I mean, look, putting Michael McDowell at +200, he's been running top 10. He could sneak his way into a top three if there's a fuel mileage or something goofy. They don't want to get hit with that, but they'll keep it at 200. Austin Dillon at 20-1, Ryan Newman 20-1. Those are two guys that could be top three, any weekend. So I think that they've had some exposure out there. They've got hit, and I think they're nervous to keep their risk that high.
Yeah, those hits were pretty hard over the last few weeks. So, all right, let's talk a little bit about the driver head-to-head matchups. Sometimes we don't get too caught up in those, but man, if you can beat Kevin Harvick, you can win some money this week. I mean, look at
Kyle Busch is +160. I mean, you're never going to see that again. Take a picture.
Kyle Busch is +160. Denny Hamlin, who is the only driver not named Kevin Harvick to win in the last 2 years there at plus 160. Wow. I don't think I've ever seen plus 160 beside Kyle Busch's name or Denny Hamlin's name over the last couple of years.
You know, there's a couple fun ones mixed in there, though. You have an Austin Dillon, Tyler Reddick head-to-head matchup with, amazingly enough, Tyler Reddick as the favorite. I like the Christopher Bell, Jimmy Johnson. I'm sorry, Christopher Bell has been running better lately. And Jimmy is not – look, he's had some mediocre runs, but Christopher Bell has had, 3 top 10s the last 5 races? I think that Christopher Bell at plus 105 is a good hit right there.
Well, he has definitely shown that he's been running a little bit better. He's probably getting a little bit more comfortable with these cars. You know, I've always said I think it's harder on the rookies not having this practice, even though then Custer goes out and wins a race, and Custer, Reddick, and Bell all go finish top 10 at Kentucky. You know, I kind of like the fact that we see some different matchups. I mean, it's not some of the same. And how about Alex Bowman is plus 130 against Kurt Busch, and he's plus 135 against Eric Almirola. Maybe the plus 135 on Eric Almirola, maybe that one is fair, but a little surprised to see Bowman at plus 130 against Kurt.
Yeah, but Kurt also has not been running great lately.
He did finish fifth at Kentucky, though. But he finished 5th at Kentucky, so I mean that wasn't bad.
He did finish 5th at Kentucky. He did come back and do decent there. And at Texas, he's on a streak of 9.77, 9.9. So he's been running well at Texas. That could be considered a surprise to me on that one. I'd agree with you on that. But it is some fun matchups. I mean, we got some really neat ones. Eric Jones, Matt DiBenedetto, 2 guys that we're both so high on. You know, there is some fun numbers in the head-to-heads this week.
Well, and the other one that kind of gets me, and this is all about what have you done in the past. Chase Elliott plus 110 against Kyle Busch at minus 130. If anybody can actually look out there and say that Chase Elliott is not hotter than Kyle Busch or more consistent than Kyle Busch right now, I don't know what race they're watching.
Well, I mean, look, you got to go off of history there, and they're saying, okay, Chase Elliott not been Kyle Busch at Texas. But Chase Elliott has been last 2 races 13th and 32nd. But before that, a string of 5 top 5s in a row to start his career. So I jump on that number. I'm fading Kyle, so I jump on it.
Well, and I kind of like what Chase Elliott's done on these other 1.5-mile tracks this year. I mean, he should have won the Coke 600. How well he run at Darlington, how well he's run everywhere. He got one race at Charlotte, too. So I think Chase Elliott's definitely going to be a guy to watch, and having him on the plus line, I like against Kyle.
Oh, he's been hot, and you like the hot guy.